Now, number 8 is San Diego State. You should be better. I'm going to say that now. San Diego State should be better in everything. You have resources. Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast, College Football Conference Preview. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and on today's College Football Conference Preview, we will preview the Mountain West and the last year of the Pac-2 as we prepare for the triumphant return of the Pac-12. Now, fans, remember that the OCP College Football Previews is for the casual fan. We will talk about things strictly for entertainment purposes only, just so you can kind of know who all of these people are as we go through the season. So again, always excited to talk about these things. With us today is our favorite administrator, Robert Abney, and more importantly for our college football program, he's our Texas correspondent because everything runs through Texas, and that's a shoot this year. So let's get with the Mountain West. So one, Boise State in their last year in the Mountain West had a great year last year, made the college football playoff. Ashton Jeanty was a top 5 running back, and now you're everybody else again. And you should be one of the better teams in the Mountain West, but let's slow our roll down. I don't know about all this chit-chatting y'all doing, but you should be one of the better teams in the Mountain West. All right. UNLV is 2. Barry Odom got at UNLV to new heights. Then he's out. And Dan Mullen is back in from TV. And now he's on the sidelines. They returned 2 starters, a lot of transfers. But again, love UNLV. My main man, Jason Frank, is out there, friend of the show. Robert, any thoughts on UNLV or Boise before we move on?
No, I mean, UNLV, remember, historically is typically pretty bad, which has always been interesting because you would think kids would want to go to Vegas. But, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if they can sustain anything because they have not been sustainably good for quite a while. And yes, very often they've been in the bottom 2 or 3 teams of the Mountain West. So we'll see what comes out of this.
All right. 3, team that I'm rooting for the right reasons, San Jose State. So after a successful debut, Coach Ken, who used to be at Navy, that's why we like San Jose State, he's looking to guide San Jose State to the Mountain West title game this year. They returned 9 starters, so they're a team I'm going to watch a little extra. Fresno State, who's flirted with some success. They suffered some setbacks last year when Coach Jeff Tefford retired prior to the opener, but they managed to finish with a good season. They tend to do pretty well. So we'll see what happens with that. Colorado State, believe they're also going to the Pac-12, but we'll confirm all of that when we talk segment 2. They're coming off their best finish. Coach Jay Norvell talked a little too loud when they played against Colorado, but Colorado State should be pretty good. They should be pretty good. It's okay to watch them. I don't know if they're going to get to 8 wins, but they should be bowl eligible. Air Force stunk last year. Okay, they were 5-7. Very, very disappointing, but they should be better this year. Robert, I'm going to pause. Any of these teams prior to we get to number 7 catch your eye?
San Jose State's schedule lays out pretty good for them because they don't play Boise and they don't play UNLV, and Hawaii and Air Force and Fresno State all come to them. So that lays out pretty well for them. That gives them a nice little track. Again, a team that hasn't typically had a whole ton of success football-wise, so let's see what they're able to do.
All right. Number 7, Hawaii. Hawaii's made some progress under Timmy Chang, was 5-7. The Hawaii thing always gets me, though, because you got to bring everybody over, and then you got to take everybody back. So I don't know how they're going to kind of maneuver that. And they do have a new AD, too, so good luck with that. Now, number 8 is San Diego State. You should be better. I'm going to say that now. San Diego State should be better in everything. You have resources. So Sean Lewis is coming in as one of the top coaching hires. You need patience though because they were 3-9. But the Aztecs, they got a nice little stadium. That man, y'all shouldn't be bad. Okay. Utah State, Robert, new coach, Bronco Mendenhall. They dusted him off, and he's in Logan, Utah. Do you think they'll be eligible? Any thoughts on any of these teams before we close out?
Well, my wife is a Utah State alum, so we pay a little bit of attention to Utah State. They actually swiped him from New Mexico, where Bronco actually got close to getting the Lobos to bowl eligible, which says something because New Mexico's bad. And I love my Lobos, but New Mexico's bad.
And Bronco used to coach at UVA. So, of course, I still remember Bronco Mendenhall from his days at the University of Virginia. All right, 10, Wyoming. The Cowboys 3-9 last year was their first losing mark since 2015. Of course, transfer. Wyoming may have a shot to be a little better, but I'm not touching that one. Number 11, Nevada, the Wolfpack. Their final record was 3-10. I think Nevada was one of the teams I followed for all of the wrong reasons last year. I don't think they're going to be very good. And, of course, number 12, New Mexico. They are on their third head coach in 3 years. Jason Eck is the new coach. Robert, any thoughts on New Mexico before we wrap up the Mountain West preview?
Well, the guy had some success at Idaho. New Mexico did just finish up some facility renovations. So that's a positive. But he probably still had better facilities in Idaho.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So fans, when we get back in segment 2, we're going to talk about the Pac-2 as they transition back to the Pac-12. We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Keith Adams, and for years, I've witnessed the struggles student athletes face on how to truly balance the demands of academics and athletics. It's a question that I have dedicated my life to answering. That's why I wrote Finding the Balance, my personal journey to academic and athletic success. It's more than just a book. It is my personal journey, and it is filled with hard-earned lessons from decades as a coach, educator, and now president of the CKA Safe Project. Inside, you will find practical advice, real-life stories, and a clear roadmap to help student athletes, coaches, and parents navigate the complex world of balancing sports and education. And now I am thrilled to bring this message to a wider audience as a proud member of the Cascade Sports Network. We're partnering to amplify these crucial conversations about student-athlete success. I believe every student-athlete deserves the opportunity to reach their full potential, both on and off the court and the field. You can purchase your copy directly from our website at www.ckasafeproject.org. Join me and the Cascade Sports Network as we work together to help every student athlete succeed. Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast in segment 2, the Pac-2/12. All right, Oregon State. They should have been in the Big 12, but nobody liked you, so you were stuck. Yeah. So the new Pac-12 is not going to be as good as the old Pac-12, but Oregon State has created an opportunity for them to do something. This schedule this year is going to be a little easier. Oregon has to go to Corvallis to play. They should be a strong bowl team, but that's probably about it. So good luck to them. Washington State, they did all of this stuff for the Pac-12, and then everybody left. They upgraded the stadium. They had a good, strong start and just kind of fizzled out. Um, they're not very good, but hopefully they can build because now we've got the new Pac-12 coming. Robert, here we go with the new Pac-12 starting in 2026. Texas State, Oregon State, Washington State, Boise State, San Diego State, Colorado State, Utah State, and Fresno State. Anybody catch your eye in terms of that transition to the new Pac-12?
Well, I mean, it's interesting. Texas State gives the Pac-12 a foothold in Texas. I mean, and Pac-12, I mean, whatever. They've been in the Sun Belt. They have done their football team has done very well. They have gotten much better. They actually had Arizona State. They played them in San Marcos. And earlier, I think it was the first or second game of the year last year, and almost came within a touchdown of beating them. They almost beat Arizona State before we knew what they were going to be. All of that said, Texas State is further east than SMU, which is in the Atlantic Coast Conference. So go figure.
Yeah. I am watching the Pac-12 because they have a chance to do something new in this new age. And yes, we are rooting for them to be successful. You got to make sure you got a halfway decent TV deal. CBS had some openings. I think they're going to be on the CW too, but at least you're somewhere, as opposed to what they were doing. They hired a better commissioner because the last guy who ran it in the ground was from entertainment background. So we're watching that. They saved their money because they held on. They did everything the NCAA told them to do, and we had mentioned on the show they got 2 years to get this right. So they did what they were supposed to do. Now you've got to get some teams to win something. Got to get some teams to win. So when we have these matchups, can't be getting smoked. Got to be competitive because 2026, and when they figure out how they're going to do the seeding, you got to get at least one team in the party so you get a little extra money. So that should be interesting. So fans, in segment 3, when we get back, we're going to give you some games to watch and some teams to follow. We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast. Hi, everyone. Dr. Keith Adams here. And for over 30 years, I've dedicated my life to helping student athletes succeed, not just on the fields and the courts, but in the classroom and beyond. And that's why I founded the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project understands that finding the balance between academics and athletics is crucial for long-term success. That's why the CKA Save Project offers a range of programs, including personalized consulting, mentorship, and coming in 2027, our innovative Gap Year Basketball Academy designed to assist both young men and women reach their full potential both on and off the court. I'm incredibly excited to announce that the CKA Save Project is now partnering with the Cascade Sports Network. This partnership will allow us the opportunity to amplify our message and reach even more student athletes through the Odd Coaches Podcast and other exciting initiatives. Join the CKA Save Project and the Cascade Sports Network as we empower the next generation of student athletes. Visit CKA on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org to learn more. Let's work together to find the balance and help unlock your potential. Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast, and in segment 3, games and teams to watch in the Mountain West / Pac-2 / Pac-12, because a lot of the Mountain West teams will be going to the Pac-12 next year. So non-conference, September 6th, UCLA is traveling to UNLV. That is an early test and UNLV has an opportunity to get them some type of energy because they're staying in the Mountain West. Boise State goes to Notre Dame October 4th. That's an opportunity to mess up a lot of things. And October 25th, Toledo was playing Washington State. So Toledo is one of the better FBS teams, and they may be in that group of 5 conversation. Problem is, they're going to Washington State. If Washington State loses, that's not good. Any non-conference game catch your eye, Rob?
I think Fresno at San Jose State. I think that's an important game. It's at the very end of the season. That could determine whether San Jose State is in the conference championship game or not. Everybody obviously is going to be gunning for Boise. I think Boise is by far, they historically have been the best team. I don't see any reason why we should change that thought. I would expect in the conference get the championship game to see Boise and San Jose State. I don't think, I'm being skeptical because historically UNLV has not sustained any of their success, and San Jose State has a much more friendly schedule. So that's what I would expect to see.
All right. So for me, our CFP, the game I want to see is UNLV Colorado State. Because I'm kind of pushing my chips a little bit to UNLV, especially how well they played after the little debacle. And by the way, I don't even know where that guy is, and I don't know where he transferred to. I don't even remember his name. Will was here.
That was a bad decision.
Yeah, that's an overinflated sense of one's self-worth in the marketplace. But in terms of the CFP candidate, Boise State has an opportunity, but I see a choke in them. UNLV has an opportunity, and go San Jose State because, as you mentioned, their schedule kind of lines up. And if they can sneak in the top 25 by October, just so people will start watching their games, they can get to like 15. Mm-hmm. You might have a shot. Okay, that's all. You might have a shot. And then maybe you can get a better bowl game, but should be interesting. So on behalf of our favorite administrator and Texas correspondent, Robert Abney, I'm Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching the Odd Coaches podcast, also seen on the Cascade Sports Network, and we will see you on the sidelines. Until next time, take care.
The Odd Coaches podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org. We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach FRANCHIZE. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches Podcast.